I'm Charlaine Jannerfeldt, and you're listening to About That Outdoor Job. Hey there! I hope you've enjoyed our episode with professional mushers Anna and Kristy Berington. I could have spoken with them all day. And let's be honest, I would have loved to speak about the dogs all day. Well, as you can well imagine, when recording these conversations, there's tangents and sometimes we get off topic. And sometimes those bits of conversation, well, they're just as interesting as what we do keep in the final cut of the episode. And you know what? Sometimes those off topic gems are worth sharing. So here is our first short bonus episode with Anna and Kristy. Pro dog mushers Anna and Kristy Berington have been racing for over a decade now, and though they've each taken part in races individually, most of the time you'll find them both at the start line of the same race. By 2012, both twins were taking part annually in the legendary Iditarod long-distance dog race in Alaska, and they often placed one after each other.
And there's a lot of potential dangers in mushing. It's not just a marathon. It's survival. You can get into storms and get lost, and it's your survival with your 14-year best friends, and or 6 best friends if you're just going out on a training run. And we've learned that even though if it's a training run in your backyard, Mother Nature might have a different idea, and she might throw a storm at you and it's white out, and all of a sudden being 40 miles from home where where you are, you don't in the middle of the night, and it can get exciting real fast.
Yeah.
Dog mushing is an extreme sport. I mean, you're dealing with cold, storms, possible sled tipping, moose attacks, sleep deprivation, and more. Do you ever ask yourself why do this?
Sometimes that's the attractive part, is getting beat and battered, and it's amazing to go through something like Iditarod. And there's times where like, why do I do this? I'm exhausted. I'm hurting because the trail's really rough and I wrecked my sled, and all the emotions you go through. And there's sometimes maybe you question that, why do I do this? It's just physically and mentally just really hard. And then at the finish line, like, next year when I do this, isn't that the definition of crazy? So yeah, I think that's the attraction of it almost.
Yeah, just to push yourself and to challenge yourself and can go one step beyond that, and you find out a lot about yourself.
And in your cases, you've also got your sister racing in these extreme conditions. What's it like to race with your twin?
It's the same but different. I guess when Anna is in a race, she's 100% capable. I don't have to worry about her at all, but I do. And I remember back in 2014, and Iditarod particularly, the worst trail I've ever been on in my mushing life. And we got to the checkpoint of Roan and pretty much came down a mountainside on dirt and rocks with 16 crazy dogs. And we had left the previous checkpoint together, but you couldn't stop. I couldn't check in with her. I couldn't flash my headlamp to know if everything going good. So it was just, I got to the checkpoint, and then there was a headlamp that came in, wasn't Anna. A headlamp came in, wasn't Anna. And then I took care of my dogs, and then I started parking teams. So I was like, when's the next one going to be Anna? And I remember helping Pete Kaiser park, and he says to me, he thought I was a checker and a helper at the checkpoint. He goes, has anybody died yet? And I'm like, I'm in this thing too, Pete. I don't know. And then finally Anna came in, and she had gotten on the wrong trail and stuck in some willow bushes, and teams were all just kind of clustering up together in the same spot, and it was just super challenging. And I that's the thing. I just like wonder, how are you doing? So I just want to know that she's okay, and I know that she is, and I hope you don't feel that I need to worry about you, because I know, like I said, you're 100% capable, but when we're together, I just want to double check, okay, Anna and her dogs are okay.
Yeah.
That was a long-winded answer, but
yeah. No, if you go through something gnarly, you want to like, oh my gosh, did you get through that? Because that was really hard and that kind of things. And I feel the same way. And I think Chrissy's done more races than I have on her own. So I was learning and watching, and she would report back to me, oh, this and this and that kind of thing. So I felt I learned a lot from her, from the races she did by herself. And I was very grateful for that.
And from a purely competitive side, could it be a disadvantage to be racing with your sister?
Oh, maybe just a fraction of it. It
Yeah, but
does
we make
consume a little bit of your thoughts and ideas and that kind of thing and feelings.
Yeah, because it's not just Anna, it's also the dog team that she has, because they're, just as much as part of, me and my team as the dogs I'm driving up front of me. So it's just the whole entity you're concerned about, making sure that they're all happy and healthy and having as much fun as you are. And like this year's Iditarod, my team got quite a bit smaller than Anna, so I know that she had that kind of feeling of, is Kristy and her little team back there doing okay, and maybe added a little bit more stress.
And at the end of the day, together is how Anna and Kristy like to roll.
We have so much more fun, I think, than anybody out on the trail, and somebody to share those experiences with, camping with the dogs under the Aurora, getting really punch drunk from sleep deprivation, and something that a normal human being would find mildly amusing, we find hysterical, and we can laugh about it together. And take pictures and document, so when we're old we can look back and be like, wow, remember when we were young enough to do this. And
we can go through the things together to where, like, maybe I might be dreading a part of the trail coming up, like, oh man, that trail leaving Roan is really rough, I hate it, but then Kristy can talk me through it or distract me, and we can help each other through things. So there's definitely a flip side of the coin, that it's amazing and fun, and that's how I like to run and race, is together, because if it's not fun, what are you doing?
Indeed. If it's not fun, why do it? A huge thank you to Anna and Kristy for taking the time to talk with me. You can follow the twins on Instagram at seeingdoublesleddogracing and learn more about what they do at seeingdoublesleddogracing.com. And thank you to you, listeners. I appreciate that you've chosen to follow and listen to the episodes I'm putting out there. If you have a chance, leave us a rating and a review on your preferred podcasting listening platform. It helps make About That Outdoor Job podcast more visible for others so they can discover it too. This episode was produced and hosted by me, Charlaine Jannerfeldt.